Let's talk about wind direction and speed. This video will elaborate on 4 major compass directions: winds and the cyclone track map. First, let's look at the 4 major compass directions, which is also known as the cardinal points. The compass is read in a clockwise direction, that is, north, east, south, and west. You might wonder how to find out the directions based on the location of your house. Here's a simple way to figure it out. First, find the direction in which the sun rises. That is the east. The sun sets in the opposite direction, which is the west. Now, let's look at the perpendicular right sides of east and west. Clockwise from east on the compass is south, and clockwise from west is north. So there you have it. Our 4 major directions are north, east, south, and west. In between these 4 major cardinal points are intercardinal points. In between north and east, we have the intercardinal point called northeast. In between east and south, we have southeast. In between south and west, we have southwest. And in between west and north, we have northwest. We also have secondary intercardinal points. These points are located in between the 2 intercardinal points I just mentioned. Now that you can read a compass, let's look at how our beautiful country Fiji is split into different divisions using these 4 major cardinal points. The northern parts of Fiji includes Holovanuatu, Taveuni, and nearby smaller islands. The eastern parts of Fiji includes Levuka, Kandavu, Lau Group, and Lomaiviti Group. The central parts of Fiji includes Navua, Suva, Nausori, and Tailevu. The western parts of Fiji includes Singatoka, Nandi, Lotoka, Ba, Rakiraki, and Yasawa Group. Now, let's discuss the winds using the compass. For instance, when we say easterly winds, this means that the winds are coming from the east. When we say eastward, this means that the winds are going towards the east, that is, blowing from west to east. The description and intensity of the winds are as follows. So, when someone says that we have moderate to fresh easterly winds, it means that the wind speed is between 11 to 21 knots and the wind is coming from the east. Let's look at the effects of wind speed on land and at sea. When there's moderate wind speed of 11 to 16 knots, moving at 20 to 29 kilometers per hour, small branches move, dust and loose paper is lifted. And at sea, small waves appear, becoming longer with numerous whitecaps. With moderate to fresh winds of 11 to 21 knots, moving at 20 to 39 kilometers per hour, small branches move and small trees begin to sway. Dust and loose paper is lifted, and any outdoor flags are stretched out. At sea, small waves become longer, numerous whitecaps appear, and moderate waves start taking form of many whitecaps and some spray. When there's fresh to strong winds of 17 to 27 knots, moving at 31.5 to 50 kilometers per hour, small trees and larger branches sway. Flags become fully extended or stretched out. There is whistling in wires and umbrellas become difficult to use. At sea, moderate and large waves take form, with many whitecaps and some spray. When there's gale of 30 to 40 knots, moving at 63 to 74 kilometers per hour, whole trees shake. Twigs break off of them and wind blows dust and dirt away. While at sea, moderately high waves of great length form, with the edges of their crests breaking into spindrift and foam blown in streaks. During a storm, winds blow at 48 to 55 knots and move at 89 to 102 kilometers per hour. Shallow water-rooted trees are pushed over and there is light damage done on land. Lightweight awnings and canopies are damaged and weak roots are lifted. Windows may blow out and aircrafts are grounded. At sea, there are very high waves with overhanging crests. The sea should now have heavy rolling densely brown foam and lowered visibility. In the hurricane, winds travel at 67 to 71 knots, moving at 118.5 to 131.5 kilometers per hour. Moderate to devastating damage is done on land, with mature trees uprooted. Moderate to devastating damage to property. Roofing and some walls will be torn off. Power lines will snap and moving cars will be lifted and or pushed off the road. Loose objects will be turned into missiles and seas will be covered with airfield foam, completely white with driving spray. Visibility would now be greatly reduced. Let's talk about how cyclones are categorized using wind speed. We'll start with Category 1 of a tropical cyclone. The strongest gust would be less than 125 kilometers per hour. In a Category 1 cyclone, there is negligible house damage, damage to some crops, trees and sheds, and moderate to rough seas may cause boats to drag their moorings. A Category 2 tropical cyclone, on the other hand, would have the strongest gust of 125 to 169 kilometers per hour. While this causes minor house damage, significant damage is done to signs, trees, crops and vehicles. There is a risk of power failure and very rough seas may break moorings. With the strongest gust advances to 170 to 224 kilometers per hour, the cyclone is regarded as a Category 3 severe tropical cyclone. This causes some roofing and structural damage. Vehicle damages too. Power failure is also likely. Sand swells and causes storm surges of up to 4 meters high. In a Category 4 severe tropical cyclone, the strongest gusts of between 225 to 279 kilometers per hour. This causes significant loss of roofing, structural damage, and blown away airborne debris. There is also widespread power failures and storm surges up to 10 meters high. Tropical Cyclone Evan was a Category 4 cyclone that affected Fiji, New Zealand, Samoa, Tonga, American Samoa, and Wallis and Futuna in December 2012. Finally, a Category 5 severe tropical cyclone has the strongest gust of more than 280 kilometers per hour. This is extremely dangerous and causes widespread destruction, with storm surges more than 16 meters high. To help you understand the effects of a Category 5 cyclone, here's footage of the aftermath of Tropical Cyclone Winston in 2016. Next, we will talk about how the cyclone track map is discussed using the compass points in winds. When a special weather bulletin is issued, the directions are given for the location of the center of the cyclone. For instance, look at the position of Tropical Cyclone Harold at 3 a.m. on the 8th of April. Locate your 4 directions from Nandi. After locating your 4 directions, see where the center of the cyclone is located from Nandi. You will see that the center is just to the west of Nandi. However, when compared with Kandavu, you will see that the center of the cyclone is on the west-northwest of Kandavu. It is then moving east-southeast as indicated at 3 p.m. and onwards. If you want to know where the low pressure and high pressure is located, turn your back towards the wind. Then point to the right. That is where the center of the cyclone is. We hope you enjoyed this lesson on wind direction and speed.